The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Whatcom County Fire District number 7 on your new apparatus, job number 31037. Please utilize this job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting on the outer side of the bumper, you'll find emergency warning lights. Moving just inward from that location, you'll find dual air horns. Just inside that is your siren. Up onto the very top of the apparatus, located in the center, you'll find 2 attachment points. Moving just inside, there is a tubbed storage location for your hose, in addition with 2 safety straps for securing. On the outer edge on the driver's side, you'll find a 1.5 inch swivel discharge. Up onto the body, you'll find your side-facing turn indicator, and also just inside from that are your headlight clusters, which offer the high and low beam. Moving up from that location, just above the headlight cluster, is an emergency warning light cluster. Moving further up onto the actual body itself, you'll find 3 windshield wipers across your seamless one-piece windshield. On the outer edges, you'll find your dual mirrors for flat and convex. And just above that, you'll find your running lights. Just inside in the very center, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight, and at the very top of the apparatus on the roof, you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Located also just inside the emergency warning light bar is your Opticom. Here are some close-up images of those things that we just talked about as we work through. At the very top, once again, light bar, Opticom, forward-facing flood. Down at the very bottom, you can see your front bumper has the warning lights, air horn, and also the siren. Headlight cluster and emergency warning light cluster. Moving to the outer edge, there is an additional marker light on the side. Generalized view here once again of that front bumper. You can see just inside of the tubbed storage location. Let's go ahead and look back up on the front bumper. You can see the tub storage area. This also houses the 2 straps for your front bumper load. Let's take a general view here of the side of your apparatus from the driver's perspective. You can see that side marking light on the left-hand side there, the blue arrow. Moving up from that location, you'll find your door handles, which are also keyed entry. Moving up from that, you'll find dual grab handles. Moving down onto the body, you'll find your auto eject shore power plug, and just to the side of that, you'll find a side facing emergency warning light. Your vehicle is equipped with TAC 4 suspension. At the very top of the apparatus here, you'll find a side facing flood. Moving up to the top corner, this is going to be a visual indicator for your tank for the amount of water. Close up here of that side-facing flood. Let's move down to the front wheel. Your vehicle is equipped with Goodyear tires. In addition, Alcoa wheels. Located in the center, this is going to be a Stemco visual indicator for your hub seal. This is that shore inlet. This is a 20 amp 120 VAC plug. Just underneath on the bottom of your cab, you'll find open tow hooks, and also you'll find the discharge drain port for the front bumper load. Your vehicle is also equipped with perimeter lighting, which you could just see, in addition with door well lighting. Inside the cab here, you'll find your warning labels regarding all of the entry points and safety for seatbelts. I'd also like to direct you about the right foot level at the operator to this yellow plaque, orange, and caution label. This is a warning and also a caution label regarding diesel exhaust. But on the right is your Pierce label here regarding the job number, VIN number, date of manufacture, and helpful information here regarding the amount of fluids and types. Just down at the base, you're going to find your auto charger when plugged into shore power. As we move to the very front, this is going to be your quarter turn in the silver here for your battery switch. To the right is an engine transmission diagnostic port with the cap currently off. Just down from that, you'll find your ABS brakes, your DPF regen, your engine diagnostic, and also your regen inhibit. Let's now move up just from this location here up onto the dash or slightly under the dash. This is going to be your road to pump and also pump to road location. This is for engaging your pump. There is also on the right hand side the flat mirror and convex mirror, which I mentioned earlier. And as we look at this pump shift mechanism here, you can see there are two green indicators on the left. First, the pump engaged, and also an indicator for OK to pump. Clear instructions from moving from road to pump and pump to road, the selector switch in yellow. On the left-hand side of the dash, you're going to find your ignition and also your start. Just inside from that, you'll find the switch EM, which stands for Emergency Master, your headlights, and your panel rocker switch. Starting on the left-hand side of the dash, we're going to start with the transmission oil, DEF, and also your water. Moving to the center, the two large gauges are your tachometer and speedometer. Moving to the right, you'll find your volts, front and rear air, and also your fuel capacity for your tank. There are also some informational displays in the very top section that heed warning information and also diagnostic information. Beneath that, in the yellow area, you'll find your miles and information there. And there are also some light up on each side beneath the RPMs and also beneath the MPH for miles per hour. Let's go ahead and now move just to the right of that down to the lower section. You can see it just underneath the rear air area. This is going to be your high idle indicator switch. As you can see here, there is a green indicator indicating OK, high idle, and then the switch on the left-hand side to engage the high idle, which also has a lit indicator when it is in the on position. Let's go ahead and move up to the dash area. Generalized view here of the front section of your dash. We'll break down the components in this area also. Starting at the very top, this is your fire comm system. This controls the volume, squelch, also the difference between radio selections, and also in the upper right corner, auxiliary switch. Let's now move down to the next set of switches here. This section, to the right of that, this is your windshield wiper. This is a positional switch and also a push to apply for if you need fluid to spray onto your front windshield. Now we'll move over to the left-hand side and take a look at those rocker switches. On the left, you have a siren horn selector. You also have your Opticom switch. There are 3 future locations for switches if needed, and also to the very far right, currently with a do not remove piece of tape on it, those are your tire chains. Just down from that, you have a push to talk switch, your engine on-off brake, high, medium, and low. You have a backup override for the alarm, mirror heat, and a load manager. Let's move down just beneath that. You can see you have your air brake and also your Allison transmission pad. To the right of that, you'll find your climate control. In the gray area is the heat defrost, and also in the very far right, that is also the heat. Let's take a generalized view looking from the driver's side over to the passenger side. This is that center cowling area for your radio. Let's go ahead and spin around and look all the way to the back now. These are going to be your 2 forward-facing SCBA seats, which contain SCBA holders. Inside the cab, you'll find push-on, push-off red and white lights. The halyard here is for your air horns. Let's take a look now at the overhead section of the driver. Let's focus in on this yellow label here. This is the height, 10 feet 5 inches, your length, 32 feet 2 inches, and also you're going to find your weight, and at the very bottom you'll find your job number 31037-01. Overhead also you have an emergency master, a roof light, front warning lights, side warning lights, lower rear warning lights, and also the upper rear warning. These are all indicator toggle switch that light when they're in the on position. Moving to the right, you'll find your front scene, driver's side scene, passenger side scene, rear scene, a future location for a switch, and also the perimeter lights, which are the lights underneath the apparatus. To the right of that, you're going to find your traffic advisor for on-off, which is the off, high, or low position. It has flash, split, right and left. You'll see the directional indicator on the right, and then a power switch, or a switch to the right also. Just located in the center of the cab here of the driver's side, this is going to be the Whatcom wireless base system here with the antenna. And I would like, if you look in the upper right hand corner, that red flashing light that would be on, that's your door indicator light if you have a door ajar or a compartment door open. That's the red lens that you can see in the center of the cab. This is going to be your siren located in the very front, and also your PA system. Let's now take a look. Once again, all points of entry of doors for personnel, you'll find this warning label. In addition, this door has a variety of different grab handles. You can see lit here in the blue. Let's move just inside the cab. This is going to be the rear section from the driver's side. You can see red seat belts for easy visual identification. And these are two rear-facing SCBA seats also. Overhead, you can see your Whatcom headset system. As we look in between the two rear-facing seats, you'll find this access door for operation of accessing fluids and daily checks. This is your oil and transmission checks. There is also a light width inside this compartment. Located between the two seats, you'll find your shore power battery charger here plugged into 110 power. Side view of the apparatus will break down some of the components here, but let's take a look at the top. You can see you have a booster line here. In addition, with the top is where your grab rail and also the location of your master stream device. We'll cover some of the top of the components here in the next. This is just a general view. Let's now start down at the pump side here. This is going to be the driver's side. Behind this access door or panel here, you'll find your crosslays. There are 3 speed loads in this location, which are removable. Down at the very bottom, you can see the drains and also a compartment. Let's take a look inside this compartment here. Once we open the door, you can see there is lighting within inside this compartment. Underneath, you'll see those perimeter lightings at all access points. As we look underneath, these are going to be all the drain valves associated with those crosslays, in addition with your pump. At the very top, let's start in the upper left-hand corner. This is going to be your Pierce maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250. There is also information here seeking information for you to access your owner's manual. And at the very bottom, because there are hoses coming off of the apparatus, there is possibility of entanglement and a warning label. Let's start down in the lower corner. You can see this is your fuel gauge. Move up to the very top here. There are going to be 2 of these. These are the access points or latches to drop that panel down to gain access behind. This is going to be your pump intake gauge. Moving to the very center, there are 2 ports here, vacuum and pressure. These are your test ports. Up in the upper right-hand corner, this is your pump discharge gauge. And moving down to the far right here, you have your water temperature. There is also a schematic at the very top regarding your Husky foam system. And there is also some information just beneath that regarding your Husky foam system. And down at the very bottom here, you can see it's currently lit. This is a pump panel light. Moving down from this location, let's take a look moving from left to right. This is going to be your throttle and pressure control. Moving to the right, you'll find all of your discharges. They are foam capable and they're labeled, in addition with color coded. All the way to the right, this is going to be an audible alarm. It is adjustable for sound. Moving to the very far right, this is going to be a set of switches. We'll talk about that next here in the next set of breakdown, but first let's continue on. Down at the very bottom here, this is going to be your electronic transfer valve. Moving all the way over to the very far right, this is an indicator regarding your pump engaged. It will be a green light. Just down from that, you'll find your tank fill or recirculating line. And to the right, you'll find your engine cooler. This is a twist, not a pull. Moving further down, you'll find your foam tank B, which is your foam level here, an indicator. And to the right, you'll find in red, this is going to be your Pierce controls for your foam system. Moving further to the right in the blue section, you'll find your water tank. And at the very far right, you'll find an additional warning label. Just down from that is the primer for your fire pump. Moving further down, you'll find your tank to pump. And beneath that, if you're removing any type of caps, be cautious for pressurized caps and never look inside. That's a warning label for that. And to the very far right, some information here from Whatcom regarding your pump type and serial number. Let's take a look at those switches, and also in the upper left-hand corner, this is that audible alarm. At the very top, you can see labeled here, you have a spare. Just from down from that, this is your panel light. You have an open and closed rear inlet switch indicator, driver side scene, passenger side scene, and also the switch here for your reel rewind. Close up here of your throttle control here, and also your electronic transfer valve. Let's move down here. At the very center with the eagle and also the American flag Pierce logo is your large diameter intake. To the right of that, you'll find your foam system intakes. And moving down, we mentioned earlier the electronic transfer valve. This is a manual attachment point if you have a failure. To the right or to the left of that, you're going to find a variety of different air information here for your air inlet down in the lower bottom corner. As we move to the right of that, you'll find a 2.5-inch intake. This is an auxiliary intake. As we move further to the right, you can see now this is your pump shift. And just beneath that, this is going to be your drain for your apparatus. We'll talk a little bit about what's behind that compartment door on the right. This is going to be your foam fill location. There is a yellow handle inside here. There is instructions on the left-hand side of the door. And currently in its current position, you can see it is for in-use position. If you move that lever upward, it is for the fill location. Down in the very center area of the bottom, you have a tubbed area here for hose storage in addition with straps. And here's a generalized view. To the right, you'll see those fold down steps that gain access to the top of the apparatus. This is going to be your indicator for visual of your tank level. Moving down, you also have a 20 amp plug here. Underneath your apparatus in just front of the vehicle, you'll find your folding wheel chock. Let's move back up to the top of the body. You'll find a side-facing floodlight. To the rear, you'll find an emergency warning light. We're going to break down some of the components within some of the compartments. Let's start first with this compartment door. When this compartment door is open for easy access for the operator, you'll find there are 3 adjustable shelves currently in a fixed position and also a pull-out shelf on the bottom. At the very top, you'll find your breaker panel and also the control for your light mast. This is going to be for your Welbert. This is your light mast on top of the apparatus with a red emergency shutdown switch. Located in the very bottom, you'll find a pull-out shelf. On the very far right-hand side, there is also the lever for depressing to allow you to pull that shelf to the outward position and also restore it. There is a center tool board located in this location and also storage on the right and left of that shelf. Located between the area of the rear wheel, you'll find you have bottle storage locations in this compartment. There are 3 storage compartments in addition with straps here for securing your device so that they don't fall out while in travel. Located in the center, emergency warning light. Moving to the very back, this is going to be an additional bottle storage location. As we look further back behind this, this is going to be the location for your fuel. This is your diesel and also your DEF location for fill. Blue cap DEF, silver is your diesel. Moving up to the next compartment, this door opens. You can see on the left there are 2 adjustable shelves in addition with spots for additional mounting of equipment. Let's move back to the very rear compartment. This is a 2-pull door. One first door opens, reach down at the lower bottom and you'll find the additional latch to open the second door. You can see a split shelf here. There are 4 shelves on the left-hand side. Generalized view here of the rear of the apparatus will break down some of the components here on the rear of the apparatus. First, starting on the left, you'll find your brake, warning, emergency, turn, and also reverse. Underneath the apparatus, you'll find perimeter lighting underneath the step here. As we move to the very top of the apparatus on each side, you'll find emergency warning lights and rear-facing flood. On the right-hand side, you'll find an additional visual indicator for your tank. As we look down, there are also fold-down steps and also 2 switches on the left-hand side here. Those switches are for your hose bed lights and also the rear scene lights that you saw earlier. Let's look up to the center here. You'll find a discharge port here and also your traffic advisor, a variety of different safety warning labels. Down at the very bottom on the right, you'll find your large diameter rear intake. When that compartment is open, just in the center, you'll find 2 adjustable fixed shelves. And to the right, same configuration, although in the black, this is your large diameter intake. Up on the right-hand side, you'll find this access door, which houses all of your ground ladders. As you can see inside here, 24-foot extension, 14-foot roof, a folding, and some long pike poles. Generalized view, once again. Same configuration as the opposite side of the apparatus. You can see in the rear, emergency side-facing warning light, and at the very front of your apparatus, side-facing floodlight. Let's start back in that rear compartment here. Same thing, concept, 2-pull. First, unlatch the first door, reach down at the bottom. There's a second latch to open the second door. As you can see in here, this compartment houses 3 shelvings that are adjustable. In the center area here, you'll find 2 locations for bottle storage. Let's take a look here in the first compartment. This is a single bottle storage location when that door is open. As we move forward of that, you'll find that side-facing warning light. And then just in front of that, toward the front of the body, you'll find an additional SCBA or bottle storage location. Just beneath that is also a marker light, and beneath that there's also a warning label regarding diesel exhaust and the potentials of it catching on fire because of its temperature. In this compartment, we're going to find a tool compartment. This is a pull-out style. It opens outward toward you. When it's in the outward open position, you have location for tool storage on front and back of this and also on the wall. To release it back, there is a mechanism here inside the compartment on the hinge side. Lift that, which will allow it to restore back to its original position. Let's take a look inside this compartment door here also. As we look inside, you can see you have 3 adjustable shelves in this compartment. Now we'll move forward to the general view here. You can see those 5 fold-down steps on the left-hand side, and we'll talk a little bit about the components here with on the side of your apparatus. First, let's take a little close-up here of the pump style here. You'll find once again some warning labels and some grab handles as common on the apparatus. Inside that compartment is this water strainer and access door. Looking down at the lower section, you'll find the flag Pierce logo is your large diameter intake. The black was your large diameter discharge. This is the cab lift with clear instructions on it. As we move up, here's that other shot of the master stream device on the right hand side with an extension. Looking inside, or just on the other side of that, you'll find this through compartment. When the door is opened here, it also has lighting with inside this area. There's also top access to this compartment also. Moving down just beneath that, these are going to be those 3 pull-out side or cross-lay compartments. And as we move to the front section, you can see just beneath that the attachment points for those discharge ports, and also an additional compartment which is the same configuration as the opposite side of the vehicle. Let's take a look underneath the apparatus. There are 3 drains here, clearly identified, color-coded, and also writing marked. Let's move toward, once again, the top of the cab. You'll find that side it's currently on with the green, blue, yellow, and red indicator for your tank, and a side warning light. Let's look inside the cab of the passenger seat. This is your fill location for your windshield wipers. Your vehicle is also equipped with supplemental restraint system, and there's warning information regarding that. Generalized view overhead. Let's break down some of the components here. First, there's the access point or radio location if you choose. And looking onto the dash, you'll find your fire comm. This is a push to talk. Moving overhead of the passenger, you'll find a variety of components here. Let's break down those next. First, let's start in the upper right-hand corner with your perimeter lights, rear scene, passenger scene, driver side scene, and a front scene. You also can see there is also in the center or somewhat to the right an additional location for future location of switch. Moving just left of that, you're going to find a variety of blanks here in addition with the emergency master and an air horn. Moving to the left of that, which would be more toward the center, you'll find your speedometer and also a Pierce Seatbelt Information Center. Congratulations, Whatcom Washington, on your new apparatus. If you have any questions or comments regarding this video or need additional information, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.